Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. Sincerely, thank you. Thank you for joining again. All of you who've already stopped by, said hi, popped in. I appreciate you sincerely. Today I am inspired. I've been flowing with the day. It's been an interesting day again for me. So today, I am Jack Talcott. This is Chats with Jack, and I've already dropped the link to join should people want to join. For those who have been a part of this Talcottian adventure, thank you, right? For those who are new, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, for checking in and seeing what's going on. I'm really kind of curious where this adventure is going to go, to be honest. What I have learned sincerely, let's cover the thumbnail, right? Sometimes God will put a Goliath in your life for you to find the David within you, right? And that's clearly a reference to, the old biblical story of David and Goliath, taking on the giant that needs to be defeated so that you and yours may know peace. So, what I am learning, sincerely, all of us, we're all in this boat together. This human experience of the 2024, right? Here we are, March 22nd, 2024. Oh, that's right. What day is this? Is this Friday? I think it's Friday too. Holy cows. Your life is a unique tale for you to create, right? That's the obvious, the simple truth. Your life is a unique tale, a unique story for you to create. We discover ourselves, right, through the challenges. It's through the challenges and not necessarily adversaries, but yeah, the adversarial situations. Through the power of opposition, right? Get into some of the esoteric ideas, some of the concepts of spirituality, and it all kind of makes sense. There's a lot of theories and myths about what was and how we came into being. But I've been learning and growing, and what I have learned and grown to understand for myself is the way is important. The way you treat others is important. The way you think about yourself is important. The way you behave, it's very important. The way you live is important. So who is it important to? It's important to the world, man. In yesterday's stream, I was frustrated. Some of my frustration was offered again, to kind people. I haven't noticed them in the chat yet, but kind people who have been there with me, and I've been, again, short with. Yesterday, Nude Guru, for those who know the name in our chat often, he's not here yet either, I don't think, but he was offering me some beautiful coaching from the chat. And man, that really helped me yesterday, and more so in my reflections, in my personal review of myself, and remembering what was offered, what was exchanged. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself from yesterday and into today. And I was blessed earlier to have some conversations with men filled with faith, similar to myself. And so my goal for today's stream is to share some of this faith, share some of the understandings I've been finding for myself. And with that, welcome. Welcome back, brother. How you doing today?
Cheers, Jack. Good to see you. I've got a new laptop, so hopefully the audio's a little bit better.
It seems so. It seems more clear too, or you look well. You look
Thank you.
filled with light. So some of the things I was reflecting on yesterday, today, what I've been growing and what I am growing and what I'm hoping to do is to know, I don't know how to say this right. Well, the way that was taught by Jesus in the Bible, it's been confused, right? It's been misinterpreted. There's people who have all sorts of ideas of what the Bible means and what the messages are for. But the real message, the true message, and I'm getting confirmations from so many places, the true messages of that book is love.
Yeah.
The true message of our God is love. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that's what Jesus says himself. You know, when someone goes up to him and asks him, "How do I get salvation?" and he says, "Follow the commandments." And then he asks him which are the most important commandments, and Jesus says, "Love your neighbor as yourself, and love God with all your heart," or something. So yeah, from Jesus's mouth, that is, and they both involve love. Do you know what I mean? So that's
This is what I'm learning for myself. Love is the way. The way is love. So how do you know love, though? In a world that does not understand love. I mean, we live in a world of punishments, manipulation, oppression. We live in a world of punishments and debts. This is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the selfish beast that human nature has become. We're here to overcome that, overcome the darkness. That's what I'm coming to know. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what the future's going to bring. I do know that I am not the only one saying these things. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us out here saying the world is changing. Hello, brothers and sisters. The time has come. It has come time to choose. Who do you serve? Do you serve the world that has profited from corruption and oppression and murder and trauma? Do you serve that world, or do you serve the way? Do you serve love, truth?
although is it a binary thing? I mean, you have to serve the world in a kind of way, you know, like in everyday life. Is it not two different things? Like you have to go to work, you have to pay your taxes, you have to do all that kind of thing. But in a spiritual way, you could serve God. Do you not have to do both to a certain extent?
Jesus didn't teach us to go get a job.
Yeah.
Jesus taught us to share with one another, to have faith in God, and to share the word of God, to share the word, to share the truth of God's love. That is what the message of the gospel was about. That's what the early Christians were allegedly doing, right? Sharing the truth of God's love, that there's
Yeah,
other
but
love.
that doesn't pay the bills. Do you know what I mean? Like on a practical level, I mean, if everyone just gave up everything they owned and just preached the word of God, how would you pay your rent, or how would you have a house, or how would you buy food? That's not
Why?
gonna, like
Why?
on a
Okay.
practical level. So
I know it's hard to imagine because we've not experienced a life without it. But think beyond the money. Okay,
Yeah.
let's logically look at the world today. There is no reason that these corporations should continuing to be making buttloads of profits off you and me. No fucking reason. Okay?
Yeah.
And all these obedient employees doing what you're saying. Well, you gotta serve the corruption. So no, this is what I'm saying, my friend. The signs of the world are clear. The signs of the world are clear. Humanity has lost our way. We have become confused. It is time for us to change. The way to change this world, it was prophesied, it was foretold, and I'm confident that what I'm saying is true, that we are the return of Christ when we realize the Christ, the eternal presence of Christ that is with us, when we realize the divine light of God that moves us. Here's the result.
But I mean that would sorry.
The result
That would have to happen. That would have to happen on kind of a mass scale all at once. I mean that's. I'm not sure what would happen if everyone did that, just gave up their job and stopped working and followed Christ. That could work, possibly. But I mean, if just one person chose to do that just on their own, then they would just be without a job, with no money, and they wouldn't be able to eat or have a house or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, getting evicted. And here's it's exactly what you said. One man alone doesn't make it. But what I realized a long time ago, and this is what I chose to do. I chose to lean in. I wanted to become more generous, more kind, more forgiving, more loving. I wanted to become more like Christ. And I realized it's easier than I first thought. It's easier than I used to think, because I didn't understand God and I didn't understand love. But now that I understand love and I've been growing to understand God, what I realized a long time ago, it is simple. It's not necessarily easy to be kind and generous and be willing to sacrifice yourself and think of others more than you. It seems hard at first, but as more people do this, it's going to get easier.
Yeah, I get that, and I don't have a problem with that. Like putting others before yourself. I mean, that's all things like anyone could do, and it wouldn't affect the economic situation. I'm talking about taking it to like an extreme where you don't work and you don't support the. Do you know what I mean? What would you do, like on a practical level, if you did that? You'd be in trouble, I would suggest.
I allowed my mind to wander. I didn't hear the totality of your question. I'm sorry. If you could.
Yeah, no, I was just saying I agree with you about putting others before yourself and being more kind and being more generous, being more giving, like within the structure of your life. I mean, that those are all good things. I'm just saying, you were talking about before, like stop working, stop giving, supporting the corporate structure and then making millions. But it's just on a practical level. I don't think you could do that without kind of starving to death or being homeless. Do you know what I mean?
Well, here's another twist to this whole job fiasco. We are at a point of a development through mechanization, technology. I think it was Miguel here. We have variables at play that render over 90% of menial repetitive tasks obsolete. No more jobs, no more ownership. Robots building houses all within a couple of years. I don't know if we're that close. It could be. It really could be. Miguel's been paying attention to things that I haven't been. But we can do. There is so many answers. Here's what the solution I see. We're connected around this world. We've advanced from the years of Jesus. Okay, we can advance again and unite. We don't have to be afraid of people who come from other countries anymore or have different colored skin. We can get past this nonsense and realize we're all part of this human race, this human faction that's being created. So when people stop lying to each other, the world improves.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't argue with that. Yeah, but I can't see. I think once humans stop lying to each other, in a
Well,
way, they will stop being human. I think humans are, no matter what you do, I think humans are always going to lie to each other. I don't think there's any way of getting rid of that. You know what I mean?
as long as they stay corrupted, serving the Lord of lies, right? And this is what I mean. We are at a time, it is time to choose. Who do you serve? Do you serve the truth or do you make excuses? That's really where we're at. And what I realized the power of truth in my own personal healing, my own recovery from addiction and depression and suicidal thoughts. I found the power of truth in myself. And I know that, well, if we are free and equal citizens, why in the hell are we allowing our government officials to keep secrets legally? We allow corporations and governments to legally keep secrets. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can just think of one example where that would be valid. You know, like military, like the military should be able to keep secrets from the population. You know, for like
Why?
national security, for like national security.
How about how about we insist our leaders stop creating enemies? See, and when we don't have enemies, then we don't need to waste as much damn money on militaries. And then again, and again, without the enemies, then we don't have the excuse of secrets. And see, without secrets, we probably wouldn't have as many state enemies and enemies within our lives. It's amazing. God is so good. God is so good.
But again, it goes back to like every nation on the planet would have to do that at the same time. Like
Correct. Let's
if
do it.
another nation attacks
Yeah.
you, that
Yes.
would be a great thing.
It can start in America. America can lead the way. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The entire world can do this, and America can lead the way. We have everything set up, everything in place. It's just a matter of getting willingness and getting the right ideas and the right people together.
But think about that on a practical level. America would have to presumably stop having a military. They would have no enemies.
Eventually, hello. Yes, that's Veterans for Peace. I
But if
was
America,
brainwashed as a child and thought the military service was a wonderful thing for me to do. Thank God, God kept me safe. But murder is murder. And we should not be sending our young children, our young, healthy, and intelligent children off into war zones because our government officials want to play some bullshit, egoic nonsense in their positions. This is I'm getting wound up. I love you, Wilder. Thank you,
no,
man.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to go on your part. I'm just
When
bringing up problems that I think of.
my eyes became opened to the corruption of this world. And when I stopped allowing myself excuses, when I stopped telling myself, well, that's just how it is. No, it's not acceptable. the corruption and the oppression, the censorship, the taxation, the debt slavery is not acceptable. Not to me. Now, this is where I'm kind of trying to tie in the spiritual message too, is that if we believe in love, if we follow the way, we will stand together to end this corruption. I'll no longer be mocked because I'm sitting alone. It's like,
Yeah. So if I can ask you what your definition of love is, because there are several different kind of theories about what love is. What is your?
that is a mystery. Love, for me, I found my definitions. I gained clarity for myself on what love was not. Okay. So
Yeah.
between what love is not and what it is, then I can get a good idea. So love is peace. Okay. It's filled. It fills us. It is whole. Love is that which is holy. It is divinely gifted to us to know, to feel, to share. Love is the energy of creation. So what is love not? Well, love is not distrusting.
Jealous. Yeah.
Love is
Just
not hateful.
yeah. From the Bible, love is not jealous. Love doesn't keep a record of wrongs. Love is not easy to anger. Yeah, that is the definition of love in the Bible. Yeah.
That's what I understand love to be. And
There's more than that, but yeah.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
But all the good things are what I view as love. Okay.
Yeah.
That includes the truth. Love is honest. Love is revealing. There are no secrets or distortions in love. Love is, it is true. So if we apply love to our economics and our politics, to our society, the truth should reign supreme. No, facts. Facts are the number one, right? Truth reigns supreme. Screw this nonsense of authority and experts, fucking Fauci and these criminal judges out here. This is, see, I get fired up. I'm trying not to get fired up.
No?
Trying to be more gentle and kind. The corruption of this world, man, is infuriating.
Yeah.
That's my problem. God is so good. That is the message I want to share.
So what is your definition of truth, or like how we can know? Not obviously, truth is what comports to reality, but the difference between truth and what we believe about the truth. Do you know what I mean? What is your definition? Sorry.
Again, sometimes the truth is known by what it is not, right? And so I was considering this earlier. We all find our own truth. We find our beliefs, and we live with these beliefs and these truths within us until we learn they were wrong. When a truth is proven to be untrue, it is no longer true. It is then a lie, right? If we continue it.
No, sorry, a couple of things there. Yeah, no. If we believe something and then we stop believing that, that doesn't make it. It was true all the time. If it was true, it was not true all the time. What we believe about it doesn't change whether it was true or not. Do you get what I'm saying? If we believe something was true and then we found out it wasn't true, that doesn't change the fact that it wasn't true all along or it was true all along. what we believe about the truth is different from what is actually the truth. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's our responsibility to find the alignment. It's our responsibility to make sure our truth, our belief is aligned with the objective truth.
Yeah.
And this is what I offered. When we learn the truth is untrue, right? When we learn that what we believed is untrue, we gain a greater perspective, a greater understanding. That's happened with me as far as what life is. I was wrong so many times in my life, man, from the choices I made with the right beliefs, the right intentions, between serving the military, volunteering for the jobs that I did, doing the things I did in and out of the military. I've been wrong so many damn times. I know when I'm right. And when you're right, when your feeling of being right actually aligns with what is red letter in the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing with that is, when you think you're right, but you're not, that feels exactly the same. If you're wrong about something and you change your mind, when you thought you were right, that feels exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? It's not until you find out that you're wrong that there's a difference there. You always think you're right, otherwise you wouldn't believe what you believe. Do you know what I mean? So
There's another part to that though, too. Okay.
yeah.
I no disagreement with what you said. I agree completely. But there's another part to that when we hear something that we know, because the truth is written within us, when we feel the truth, right? When you hear something that this has happened with me and the words of Jesus, many of the mystical teachings, it's just as soon as I hear that word, it's like click, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
But with you saying you've been wrong so many times in the past, if you're saying that when you hear the truth, you know it's the truth because it's in your heart, then why would you have ever been wrong? Because you should be able to tell the difference. Do you know what I mean?
beautiful question. Thank you.
Yeah.
That question, the reason I didn't know was because I was to raised to stay trapped in my mind. I was raised that with the right excuse, it was okay to lie. And then I was also raised that, this world is real corrupt, so you can't trust anyone. You've always got to be on edge. And then I joined the military and get taught that, there's enemies. You got to be on edge, even when you're at home, so I was brainwashed. Why didn't I know the truth? Because I believed in lies. This is how our minds and our spirits work. We are this. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I've got like an objective test to test that theory. If you're saying you know what is true because it's in your heart, right? I've got a wallet in my back pocket. I have £500 or dollars in that wallet. Right, that is a true claim. Or I could say I have no money in that wallet. Just so how do you just me telling you those two scenarios? You're saying that you should be able to tell which one is true just by the feeling in your heart.
I don't think you understood what I was talking about. Or maybe I didn't explain. Maybe I didn't offer what I was talking about clearly. See, in
No,
the scenario you just offered, there's no relevance to me. Whether you do or do not have money in your wallet
yeah,
makes no difference. It only reveals your character or lack of character through the truth or the untruth you offer. So, what would matter to me, though, I mean, the truth is written on our hearts. What I mean by that, there is, as I understand, there's words. lines in the Bible that support that as well, that God's law is written in our heart.
Yeah.
The reality is, when we ask questions, when we choose to learn something and to know something, we decide when to stop asking. We decide when the truth has been revealed. We decide. So I started to learn how infallible I actually was. Well, I learned a lot of things, but mostly I learned the power and the importance of the truth. 100% honesty. 1000% honesty and accountability, authenticity, being true, and accepting responsibility for what we do, say, and be. That's what I've learned. That's what sets us free. We live in, similar to my experience, right? I was raised with a confused mind, ended up turning to addiction. And, I was an obedient employee, obedient taxpayer. I followed all the rules I could find. I was a slave. What freed me was my commitment to the truth. Because when we can place the truth is the only thing that matters, the facts. When we can humble ourselves to the truth, then guess what? Turns out we're nothing. And if we're nothing, well, we're only here for the adventure of life. And I truly believe what was demonstrated and taught by Jesus was unity, of love, of peace, of service to the world. He showed us perfectly how God's law could be lived. And his result was miraculous, right? So it's my faith and hope that God is using us, those who wish to serve. Oh, where I was going with Jesus, sorry. He was the perfect example of selflessness. There was no selfish part of him. And what are we?
Yeah. When he said, like, give away all your belongings, take up your cross and follow me. How is that not? I don't know whether it's selfish or not, but can you see where I'm going? Like he did seem to say that the most important thing was following him and doing what he said.
Yeah.
If you don't love me more than your own family, then I can see aspects of selfishness there, at least when it comes to Jesus. Love me more than your family. Give up
Love
all your
God.
belongings and follow
Love,
me.
love God.
But Jesus was God.
See, and we have been conditioned to believe that we are not. We've been conditioned to believe that God is some far off place who's ready to judge us and punish us and, just send us to hell just because we didn't understand. Yeah, no, that's not real. See, the distortions, I don't know. You're right. Jesus, as God, was saying a little selfish. So here's what I've been finding: the way of love. Guys, the reward is it's right away. It's the feelings you feel within when you have inner peace. See, that is the result. That's what I was trying to get, where I was going with earlier, is the result of faith. It's inner peace. It's the inner comfort and knowing that God's will be. And I am joyful, grateful. I feel blessed to be a part of God's creation. So I seek each day. How do I serve? I still don't know what's happening with me over the weekend. I'm still debating. Do I honor a contract that was imposed upon me and vacate, or do I stick it out the weekend? I've already notified them that I'm not going to vacate by their date. So anyway, my thought is I got a couple $100 left. I'll load up the car, do some laundry tomorrow, pack a couple of bags, and if they do come, tell me to leave, I'll leave. No, take off, go south. I'll see where God takes me. I'll head to warmer weather, and I'll see what opportunities come forth. But I have a feeling, again, like I said, I don't have anything to point to be specific, but through the conversations and the videos, my life experience of today, I found deep inspiration again. And I actually have great faith that this life is about to become pretty amazing again.
It's cool. Yeah, I hope so.
Well, again, based on some of the conversations I've had recently, and people from the past have organically but bizarrely reached out in different ways as well. I have a feeling there will be blessings. What I'm implying there is that I'm hopeful and expectant that I will get the attention of either my son or my former or others in my community at some point soon. It's been a long time. And this is the thing, too. My faith in me and what I'm doing is strong. When others join me, I see some great things happening. Because that's how love spreads. Just like fear spreads and confusion spreads. There's been a lot of people spreading confusion about me, jumping to conclusions and gossiping and telling all sorts of shitty lies about me. But I have faith in the truth. The truth will become known. And when the truth is shown, brothers and sisters, I haven't been promoting myself, right? But I have the studies, I've got the education, I've got the heart and the desire of a coach. If anyone does have interest, if you'd like any attention, willing to share time discussing you and how I might be able to help you, please feel free to reach out. Because I've envisioned this, actually. I had dreams when I invested in the Live Without Fear and started getting into self-development, public speaking. I had these grand ideas of working with a team, developing and working with a team of people, coaches and people who care about health, helping others with the education, the support they need to regain their health, to finally maybe experience health, to discover what else life can bring. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, but just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it will not.
Yeah, it's always good to have a goal, and I mean, if that's what you want, then at least if you have a goal, you've got something to work towards, and you can do things to try and make that happen. That's a good thing.
That's what I started learning. Tiana, thank you for joining. What I'm discussing today, the way is important. it's a implied relation, but kind of an overt relation to the way as taught by Jesus in the Bible, the way of love. Why the way we behave is important. That is what the topic was kind of supposed to be. It's where my mind was at least. I was reminded of something earlier. Our spirit, right? We've got the body, the physical body, and we are the body, the mind, and the spirit, right? And what is a spirit? A spirit is a being or a form of wisdom and energy. That would be a consciousness or an intelligence of energy is what I consider a spirit. And so the spirit of us is our thoughts and our feelings. That's how we get to recognize the spirit that is with us, the spirit we are sharing and showing, the energies. It's our thoughts and our feelings. Something I was reminded of earlier today, our thoughts and our feelings must be confirmed. We have thoughts and feelings all day, all the time, just constant thoughts and feelings come through our body. Until we actually notice them, bring awareness and attention, and actually confirm those thoughts, confirm those feelings, we don't have to be moved. And that is what I believe is that is the way. The way to know peace is to allow thoughts and feelings to truly pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, interrogate them, capture and develop the thoughts and the feelings into greater, into more beautiful, more divine, more joyful, more enjoyable. Um, Pay attention to what you confirm. That's the lesson I've learned recently, and I want to share that for yourself too.
Yeah, that's good.
Hmm. Jackson, yep, that is true. I looked at jobs. I tried hustling and doing jobs, but number one, I've got my employment record is a little confused. I still haven't gotten clarity because nobody has seen. Anyway, I've tried getting jobs, but the more I think about it, I've got a greater opportunity of return of value by promoting myself, sharing my value the best I can. Um, and I know if I went to a job to make profits for someone else, I would be extremely resentful and I'd be trying to take over the organization immediately. And so that's probably not the best way to go to a new job with the knowing that you're going to take over. So,
Yeah, yeah, they don't tend to like that. Yeah, to be fair.
and I don't do well by mindless obedience anymore either. My days of the military are done. I learned how to think for myself. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to get over my confusion and my arrogance and my
Could
fear.
you not
Yeah.
could you not do something in like this field, but which makes you money? Like like your own business, then you would automatically be the boss and make money, but you're not, giving your money to like the corporate businesses and that.
This is my purpose.
Yeah.
I
Oh, that is what you do. So,
Yes. Um, Now there's a lot of things I could have done as far as developing online and doing a greater job of a better presence. I I don't know what I don't know, And I chose not to try and teach myself all this marketing and development stuff. I figured at some point, I mean, this is my life. This is the life God has offered for me to live. So I trust that God eventually wants me to succeed and to grow. So I figure there's going to be partners will come, and they'll have the talents and the skills, the education that I don't have. Even with that, though, yes, there are other corporate ways I could market myself beyond just the online and the personal things. And I explored briefly some of those ideas, but I'm sincerely opposed to the corruption of this world.
Mm.
And I'm all in. I'm gambling. Admittedly, this is my life. God allow me make the choices I'm making. I'm gambling. I'm all in on creating a movement, building a team, right? Growing this into a movement so that we rewrite the rules where we do end wars, ceasefire now, ceasefire today, every nation. And then we can even hold off the firing squads, but we could maybe introduce the private investors of the Federal Reserve and these corporate brilliant parasites who've been taking over the world through the economic illusions. We've been sold, brothers and sisters. We've been sold lies. It's called the American dream. And it spread around the world. It became a nightmare. Why? Because selfishness has been the way of America.
Yeah, I don't think it's just America though, and I don't think it's well. It definitely didn't start with America. I mean, being English, you know, we owned.
You are right. It's
Yeah, we owned half the world at one point. I think we
right.
have to take some of the blame for that. You know what I mean?
It's been thank you. You're right. It's been a problem for a long time. And let's face it, we were born into this problem. We didn't necessarily create it. But just because we didn't create the problem doesn't mean we got to keep going along to get along. I truly believe, man.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we can't solve the problem. Even though we didn't create the problem, it doesn't mean we can't solve the problem. Eventually, at some point.
The truth will solve the problems. When people humble themselves to the truth, like this, admittedly, well, this is one of the ideas I'd love some help with if anyone wants to work with me on this. I was thinking again the other night, do a very brief video, open letter to Congress, so to say, type thing, with some observations that I hope to share with them personally. And then maybe, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Oh, well, the point is, a message to Congress about it sincerely. They need to wake up to reality. This liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican nonsense. This stuff has got to end. It's childish. It's unhealthy. It's not solving anything. They're playing egoic games at the future, at the cost of our future and current safety. Yes. Hey, please, Cult of Culture. I glanced up. I didn't see another question. I saw your comment about it, but
But I think, like you were saying before, I think it's going to take like a more fundamental change to the system rather than. I mean, you're not gonna convince politicians like conservatives or Democrats to change their ways, and that's already. There's no way you're going to do that. I think you have to demolish the whole
Who says
system. And so,
who says there's no way? Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying.
yeah, I don't think like politicians as they are now, like taking money off businesses, and I think it's so corrupt at the moment that like appealing to their better nature, I don't think is going to work. Even if you convince them that you were right and they were, I don't think they'd accept it. They're just going to go with the status quo because they're in power. Do you know what I mean? I think it's going to take something more.
See, I don't agree with your opinion. And I don't
Oh,
believe your opinion is enough reason for me to say, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't try. I
yeah,
think
no,
I think we're fucking idiots for not trying.
yeah,
We are absolute fools. We are to blame if we do not stand up for the wars, for the corruption, if we do not stand up for if we do not stand up soon,
yeah,
we may
and
not have as many opportunities to do so. If I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, then yep, hey, guess just fucking right. There's no hope. There's no fucking hope at all. 20,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
the beast system, the antichrist, everything is coming forth. If I'm wrong,
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like what is the best way, like strategically, to go about it. I would just, I mean, you're right. Like the truth is the best thing to focus on, and we need to change. And I'm with you with all that. I'm just thinking strategically. I don't think the people in power at the moment, you're going to convince them. I think maybe you have to go about it a different way and get rid of the system. Does that make sense? I'm not disagreeing with your
no,
point.
I'd rather you start considering ways to convince them
Yeah,
because that is the truth. What we're dealing with,
yeah,
a world is in denial. People have been conditioned and enabled with denial. People are lying to themselves and each other. So, what I suggest is not just me. As a matter of fact, I encourage anyone listening, if you know anyone, have any idea of anyone who might have access or be willing to try to talk to Congress and the legislators, please encourage them to do so. The solution we're looking for is for the for secrets to no longer be legal. Yeah, I didn't appreciate your question, cult of culture. I'll come back to that though. Um, Please help us understand why you have waited until running out of money and not arranging where you will live when the lease is up. Have you not seen my daily efforts to try and communicate with human beings? Online, I've talked about my efforts offline to communicate with human beings, but what I see is a lot of egoic insecurities and confusion. So I've done what I believe I can do. I've had faith that someone would be moved, that God would move someone. That was what my prayer was, that God would move someone to finally, yeah, Jack, you've been wanting to talk to me a long time. What's up, man? It hasn't happened yet. So, but I
but
don't really care. Hey, T Rains, bless you. Love and peace is the goal. Treat each other with respect regardless. Amen. That is the lesson I reminded myself of yesterday. Treat each other with respect regardless. I'm going to I'm working to do that a little better. Because the way we live, the way we think, the way we treat each other, it really matters. It is important. We got in earlier on the idea of God's law, right? God's law. The two most important, love and love. So love God with all your heart, mind, spirit. Love God. How do you love God if you don't know what God is?
Yeah, I struggle with this. You have to believe that God exists before you can love him. Yeah. I just don't know how to get over the first hurdle of believing that he exists. Basically. But no, sorry, carry on. That's a rabbit hole. Yeah, so.
All right. I've come to the conclusion sincerely that, well, God exists. We perceive existence. All we are is mind. Okay, so you, me, all of us, each individually, we are our own little g gods. We are the creator of our beliefs. We are the creator of, well, much of our lives. We make the choices. So when we accept responsibility for our part of co-creation, becoming one to work with God, work with the facts, work with the facts with love, that's the way we're supposed to live. This world teaches us to live totally backwards, man. The world taught us to live with materialistic focus. You know, the idea of monetary and the results and, you know, the economic status. And then on top of the materialistic, the world has taught us to focus on the past. People don't spend time imagining and creating a future that we want. But I think God has. There's a future for us all. The future of humanity, it will be, I do believe it will be peace for all. I believe unity it's the step, it's the next logical step in the development of humanity and society. Unity is our next step.
So can I ask you like a few questions about like what kind do you class yourself as like a Christian?
Somewhat. I don't like the way Christians are represented or the way Christians represent themselves. So I don't like that title, to be honest.
Yeah,
I am a follower of Jesus. I am a disciple of Christ.
So what kind of Christian, like, do you follow any particular denomination, or I'm just trying to get a kind of clear view of what your like theological kind of positions are. Do you hold to the omni God? Do you know all the omnis kind of thing?
There's many ways that the one God has been described. And, well, I'm from the scientific explanation, that's what kind of helped me, right? From scientific theories, whatever, if it's provable or not, I accepted them. Like the idea of the Planck distance and the way that tied into the fabric of space and time. So space and time are nothing. There is essence of nothingness there, yet It's from this fabric of space-time that has infinite energy that all the universe comes forth. It's electromagnetic. It's all these principles of energy that come forth from the space-time fabric, which is, that is, oh yeah, it's also the infinite awareness, and we are just a speck in the infinite awareness of the creation.
Yeah. Can you explain the infinite awareness? Are you talking about God? Like omniscience.
Yes.
So he has all knowledge. Yeah. Okay, now. So yeah.
I believe there's layers and levels of so many different things between spiritual dimensions, energetic dimensions. There's so many subtle layers to nature. And when you think about it, from the science that we've learned generally, right? Within us, there are billions, what trillions of cells within us. The type of scale and detail involved in life coming forth, it is miraculous. Okay? It's the way the fabrics of space-time, energy, information all come together. Then you twist all of that in with this other gift, our mind. Nothing exists for any of us outside of our mind. Everything is within our mind. When your mind is done, you're done, right?
Yeah.
So we are mind. God is mind. So what is mind? Mind is the activity of thoughts. That's what this energetic motion is. I believe we are individual thought patterns within the mind of God in an ever-growing story of creation.
And I'm only asking this because I speak to someone else, another Christian, who believes that, like the Matrix, like reality isn't real and everything is just in God's mind, and we're just like figments of God's imagination. Is that what you're saying, or is that different? Yeah,
Pretty close to it.
yeah.
Because I came to the conclusion that, well, I am not real. Okay.
Yeah.
What I think I am is just an accumulation of ideas and definitions that I've picked up over my 50 years of life here on Earth. I am not who I think I am. I am not real. And then the more I started thinking about that, well, what is real? What is real? How do you know what is real? Every moment is different. Every thought is different. Every feeling is different. Every moment is different. Can something be real if it's never the same?
Yeah, I think like there's a difference between what is actually real. Like there is one objective reality, whether it's we're all in God's mind or whether there's an actual universe, a physical universe. There is a state of affairs that is true. What is separate is what we believe or what we can know about that state of affairs. So there is one truth, like an objective truth, whatever that is, and then there's the difference of what we can know and what we understand and what we believe about that truth. Those are two separate things. Do you know what I mean? You've got to kind of separate them. I don't know if that helps or not.
I agree completely. The key, though, is being willing to adjust what you think is true, being willing to accept what is true, because the one objective truth that is, that's what I consider to be God's will. God's will is that which is true, or that which is real, right? Whatever is real is that which God ordained, I guess. I mean, that's my excuse I offer. But there's no point being upset about that which is. that which is real, at least, and that's the game. We've got to determine what is real. What is real? Excuses. Excuses are real. Excuses drive people nuts.
This is a question. What if, like I said, there is a state of affairs and there has to be? What if it's impossible for us to know what is actually true? What if that is just fundamentally beyond our comprehension? What would we do then?
We accept what we do and do not know, and then we live the best that we can.
Yeah. So,
I mean, but what I do is I stay curious. I recognize what I don't actually truly know. And I try to, at least. I try to be very careful about what I actually know and what I may have just heard from someone else.
yeah.
But I don't know. You know, life is an interesting progression of time, experiences. That's what experiences are, is time. I'm not sure now. Where my mind is at now, I'm feeling kind of complete, to be honest. I've appreciated your questions and participation. You have other thoughts, other ideas, topics?
Uh, uh, no, not so much at the moment. I don't want to like take it up in another direction now.
I think I'm going to wrap up. I've still been dealing with some of that less than ideal health, I'll say. I haven't been feeling the best lately.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
I think I'm
Well,
going to
thanks.
try to
Yeah, thanks for letting me on. It's great to speak to you again with proper audio this time. Hopefully. Good to
respect.
see you.
I
Cheers.
appreciate
Bye.
it. Thank you, my friend. And brothers and sisters, thank you for all those who. What was this? Where were you before you were born, Jack? You were soul. Amen. This is what I realized. We are. As Jesus was, you are. I am. We are. Jesus is the eternal consciousness. The benefit he had was he had the direct knowing of God and the relationship. And we were born into a different time, different parents, different experiences. I've come to trust that, yes, we are, if not eternal completely, then damn near eternal. I mean, we are one with that which is. There is no separation. So, yes. I mean, where's it? We are the eternal souls. We are the spirits of our being. We are not this fleshly form. But what we are here, we have this, we are the meat suit here, right here on earth. And through our consciousness, through the gift of our mind and the awareness that God has offered us, through the gift of mind, the path of the heart, what we are able to do, we're here to unite. We are here to embody the heavenly realms here in the earthly realm. We are here to unite heaven and earth together through you, the love of you. And the love of you, it's found within you. That's God's love for you. I don't want to say that because I can't know that. I don't know what this question is in regards to. if I asked this kind of time from you for over a year now, would you give it? I don't know what you're talking about. The for the real ones here. I could still go another 20 minutes. I got that in me. Provo, you're a blessing too, my brother. Sincerely. Tommy asked many times, does Jack know about the plan for the 3 wars? Then the plan to offer world peace, always ignored. I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to get back to what is good. God is good. God is the good, right? That which is good, it comes from God. Can you find it? Can you find the good in what life is bringing? If you can't find the good, guess what? You are confused. I remember those patterns. That's why I can make that assumption without even knowing you, without even seeing you. If you can't see the good, you're confused. You're unwilling. And if you're unwilling, that means you're in denial. And if you're in denial, it means you have negated the truth. And if you negate the truth, you're not in service to that which is real. And the confusion we have, brothers and sisters, the power of truth is no joke. It is no joke. The power of truth frees us from our deceptions, from our confusion. And here, I was trying to remember the words. The benefit of faith, what I've been finding, is the inner peace. You know what inner peace is? It's the absence of resistance. Do you notice no resistance within you? Do you notice no conflicts within you? Or do you have resistance? Do you have just an tension and a unrest and just, oh, I gotta be agitated, I gotta be productive? We're all designed different, right? We all live different ways. But brothers and sisters, what I do know is we are here to unite. Unite with love. Unite with the love of God, the love for one another. There is only one being. There is one being that is taking form. Take control of you and your experience. Take control of you and your adventure, right? Recognize life may seem unfair, and life is unfair. We live in a corrupted world where profits and lies and slavery have been enabled for generations. So life really is not fair, but says who? Compared to what? So sometimes God will place a Goliath in your life for you to find the David within you. And so it reminds me of other quotes of philosophy I've picked up over time. Man really does, a man is not defined by the circumstances, but the circumstances help the man become realized. See, the challenges that life brings forth, these periods of isolation or lack or discomfort, those challenges, they bring us the opportunity to go within, to find out what we're truly made of. What are we truly capable of? What have we been holding ourselves back from? That is the key. What have you been holding yourself back from? I used to hold myself back from happiness, if you can believe it. I couldn't find the worthiness in myself to allow myself to feel happy. You ever felt that way? Just like unable to find happiness? I hope that's not it. I mean, I'm looking at some of the names in the chat. I don't think that's many of you. Amen. What goes into the mouth doesn't defile a man. What comes out does. It matters. It matters words, how you use them. It matters. The way we communicate with each other, the way we treat each other, the way we think, the way we feel. Those things are important. I've been learning over the past several years how very important those things are. How you feel, how you think, what you say, what you do, those things matter. More than the results, they matter for your inner state of being. Okay? The Bible is right. If you allow your mind to be corrupted with impure thoughts, well, you are committing sins. Pay attention to what you're thinking, sincerely. The only way our world can be corrupted is through free will. Hello, McFly, right? Anyone home? The only way we get corrupted is by our own free will. That means the fact that we've been enabling corruption by our own free will, the corruption that creates billionaires and war zones and all this military occupation that the United States and others are so fond of. People are. I think it's time for us, brothers and sisters, all. It is time for us all to unite, to start connecting with each other truly with heartfelt compassion. You know, start with the others in your family. Maybe family you haven't talked to in a while, connect to them. Maybe reach out to neighbors or other people in your organizations. Make a new friend. Brothers and sisters, we're here to unite. And if we unite together with the common goal of a better world, guess what? Those parasites who have tricked everyone into paying for their luxury lives, it doesn't matter if they agree with us or not. I mean, the facts are facts. And if we don't ask, cult of culture, is that Moose by chance? I've actually grown bored of your comments and questions. So I'd like to know though. It's not Moose. Okay. Well, I won't blame him, but saw some similarities there, it seemed, but anyway. I don't want to continue just to continue. I think I'm going to shut it down. Even though I received the encouragement for 20 more minutes, I said it was easy. It is easy, but I'm not finding the return in value. You can take off, cult of culture. Because you claim I lack accountability, you believe there is the only explanation, that you're so smart, you're so brilliant, you know so much. See, brothers and sisters, the patterns of the ego, pretty obvious, pretty clear. They're usually ignorant. You know, if someone's being real ignorant and rude, real condescending, controlling, that's egoic, right? It's not helpful. It's not productive. It really is the anti-Christ, because the Christ is within. The Spirit of Christ is within you. It's within all of us. It is. The Spirit of Christ is the perfection that we can know. So I know there's been a lot of confusion and there's been a lot of things said about me, even in contradiction to what I say. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling complete. Brothers and sisters, sincerely, thank you all. Thank you to all of you who joined in sincerely. The topic today, the way, is important. Just remind yourself that. The way of love, the way of peace, the way of comfort, the way of confidence. The way is your way to create. So get creative. Be the creator being who you are. Open your mind up beyond the confusion, beyond the worldly limitations, and start really asking, what can I do? If God is with me and the world wants me to succeed and grow, what do I do? I don't know. We'll find out what happens next, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Hey, blessings to all of you. Thank you again, sincerely. Those who joined, who was that? Um, my friend. Thank you to those who joined. Thank you for those who tuned in, commented, shared your support in the chat. Blessings to all of you. Share the stream. Encourage others to check it out. We'll see what happens in the future. Getting exciting, at least from my position. So choose love, peace for everyone. Live without fear. God bless us all. Thank you, sincerely.